Portugal's 10-year citizenship rule, what it really means for expats. A lot of people have been looking at Portugal as an easy way into Europe, a place to retire, to invest, or to start fresh with a clear path to EU citizenship. Much different than moving to Southeast Asia. But this has just changed in a big way because Portugal is tightening its laws and making it much harder to get citizenship and a passport there. If you're thinking of moving there, you should listen closely because this could change your entire plan. And I'm going to get into the differences between Portugal and Thailand. But in case you don't know, I'm Scott. I'm American in Thailand. I've been living here for over 30 years. If you like this video, please click like, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you'd like to send me a letter, a message, whatever it is, you need a consultation, email me at anamericaninbangkok@gmail.com. So Portugal just dropped a bombshell on expats. What used to be a 5-year citizenship, it now takes 10 years. So for somebody like me, I'm 62. Let's say at 64 I decided, hey, I want to get citizenship in Portugal. Well, by the time I possibly got citizenship, I'd be 74 years old, maybe 75 years old. That doesn't make any sense, okay? But this is their rule, this is their law, and 10 years of legal residence before you can even apply to become a Portuguese citizen, and they've made it more difficult. This change hits everyone except nationals from Portuguese-speaking countries like Brazil and Angola. They get a slightly better deal at 7 years. Crazy. But for the rest of us, if you were thinking of setting up long-term life in Portugal, your timeline just doubled. Nowadays, I think the direction that we're heading is all these countries that, oh, it's a great place to go, it's a great place to live. They're going to get more and more difficult to live there. They're going to get more and more difficult to get citizenship there, residence citizenship. And I don't know how long it'll be. Maybe it's 20 years, maybe it's 50 years. But a lot of places around the world are going to start tightening the screws. This is Portugal. What about Ecuador? What about Cambodia? What about Vietnam? And Vietnam does not have a retirement visa. They're supposed to come out with a golden visa, but so far they have not done so. And that's going to cost people at least $150,000. So you might want to think about it. But the kicker for Portugal is the clock doesn't start ticking when you apply for residency. It starts only when your first residence permit is issued. So if the system delays you say 6 months or a year, that time does not count. That's just too bad. They're also tightening the rules across the board. Now, before you can even think about citizenship, you have to prove you can speak Portuguese at an A2 level. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds like they're taking it very seriously. You'll take a civic integration test, swear allegiance to Portugal, and have a clean criminal record. They're done handing out passports like candy. If you're planning on moving with your family, it just got more complicated. You'll need 2 years of legal residency before you can sponsor your family to join you. And any kids, they'll have to meet schooling and language integration benchmarks to qualify. Wow, that's crazy. Now, Portugal does have a golden visa, but while Portugal hasn't completely axed the program like Spain has, a path to citizenship for investors now follows the same 10-year rule. No shortcuts. You still have to prove language ability. You have to pass the civic test and go through heavy document checks and expect delays. Some applicants are waiting years to get approval. Now, I'm not saying you should just go to a country and, you pay a little bit of money, boom, you're a resident. I don't think that's what you should do. I think Thailand's situation, things are a little bit different here, and you have to be working and paying into the system, which I have been paying into this system, but not with taxes, at least because I've always worked. in a different way. I've worked as a correspondent, and when I worked here, I worked for a company, and it was based somewhere else, so things were different. But that doesn't really matter. The point is that it's going to get more and more difficult for people to get their citizenship in other places. But I guess as long as a place needs your money, you got a place where you can go and get citizenship or residency or whatever it is you want. Portugal also transferred their immigration oversight to a new public security unit. So the whole process could get even more bureaucratic before it gets better. So what this means is Portugal is not the easy backdoor to EU citizenship that it used to be. 10 years is a very serious commitment, and they're going to make it, they're going to make you work for it. If you're serious about moving to Portugal, you should start planning early, learn the language, track your permit issuance date, and prepare for a long, paperwork-heavy ride. Now, this is a warning shot to anyone chasing an easy expat lifestyle. Governments are tightening up. You better be ready to integrate or you're going to hit the wall. And listen, I'm very fortunate to be here in Thailand under the circumstances that I'm under. When I came in, things were a certain way. Now they're not the same anymore. I'm very fortunate to have to deal with them under those circumstances. But living in Portugal and Thailand are two completely different experiences, culturally, financially, bureaucratically. Portugal offers access to the EU, a Mediterranean lifestyle, and stronger infrastructure, but it comes with higher living cost. Now, also stricter immigration rules, and now a drawn-out 10-year citizenship timeline. And, you know, Thailand is cheaper day to day and has more relaxed visa options for retirees, also the tropical weather, but it doesn't give you a path to permanent residency or citizenship unless you jump through hoops, and even then you are just a long-term guest. Okay, so it's not really that easy in either place. Okay, I mean, I've looked at Spain. Oh, not so easy. I've looked at Portugal. I've looked at Thailand. I've looked at Ecuador. Now, Ecuador is about the easiest place, but you got to put the time in there. That's the whole thing. So, in other words, if you want to live there, you're going to have to put the time in, get your temporary residency, get your permanent residency, and then become a citizen. So, that's not for everybody, but some people, they really would like that. And, you know, I really would like to get a second citizenship fairly soon, because, you know, I'm getting older, and, you know, you don't know how long you're going to last, and is it really worth it? You never know. Portugal demands integration. In Thailand, they just expect you to keep renewing your visa and spending your money. Sometimes I think, why not just go to Cambodia? Well, because the only path to citizenship is to pay $250,000. And I don't think it's worth living in Cambodia. I don't think $250,000. I don't think you need to spend that kind of money to live there. So, just my opinion. But anyway, this is my opinion on a few of these things, because I'm always checking into these things, looking into them, seeing what's going on. And I just found it really illuminating to see that Portugal has tightened up their reins. And I've said it many times. If they need you there, when they stop really, really needing you there, then they start with the crackdown. You know, then it's like, oh, well, we don't need all these tourists. We don't need all these expats. What they do is they say, oh, now we have a lot of tourists. We don't need that many. We want to curb the number of people coming in. They did this in Mexico. They've done this in many, many places. So anyway, that's all I have. I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Until next time. Chok di leo jerk and my. Let's see here. What does that mean? It means good luck and see you again. I almost forgot what I said. Take care.